When the world feels scary and crazy and weird, how can you take a risk and commit to yourself? I got a message today saying with furlough, with everything, they're scared to commit to themselves because the world feels so unsafe and unstable. When the world feels completely unstable, how can you commit to you when you're feeling scared? I want to look at this because it's a bigger picture than just what's happening in the world today. Yes, the world today is weird. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're having to rest in a lot of uncertainty. When there's so much uncertainty outside of ourselves, how do we commit to ourselves? So for those of you who don't know, I'm Zaria, and I have a program, Overcoming Emotional Abuse. And I got a message today saying, I'm so scared to commit to myself. And I can bet you there are other people who have held back in their lives because they're too scared to commit. So I want to take you back a little moment in my life. My ex had left me. I had got involved with a guy in Australia, so I'd moved my kids to Australia, and that had broken down, so I'd moved back to the UK. I had nothing. I was on housing benefit, child benefit, every benefit, and I was struggling to pay my bills. And every time I meditated, because I was a strong meditator, every time I meditated, I heard the word masters. And I was like, no, not studying masters, masters. No, I'm not doing it, masters. I didn't even have a computer to my name. I went round to a friend's, and every week I would go to her house to check my emails. And I opened my email to an invitation to apply for a master's. A master's in integral theory by Ken Wilber. Now, my daughter was called after Ken Wilber's wife. I adored him. He's an American philosopher. And I just burst into tears. My friend thought somebody had died because I was sobbing so hysterically that this voice was screaming inside of me that I needed to do that. I applied for it and I got in, but I had no money. So I had to go to the and this is scary. Single mom, no money coming in except for benefit that hardly covers anything. And I went to the bank manager and he said, "You're blacklisted." And I said, "But you don't understand how many people's lives will change if I do this. I need to do this master's. Can you not bypass the system? Can you not do something manually?" And he said, "If I do this and I lose my job, it will be on you." And I said, "It won't happen. I will pay you back. I will." And I struggled. There were times that I had to borrow for my rent because I was prioritizing my master's. And I had to commit to me. So I want to speak to you in these crazy times why it's really essential to commit to you. All right, I've got my notes on my phone so that I don't lose anything. For many of us, we've had parents who didn't commit to us. You know, my dad would say, "Hey, I'm coming to visit on Monday," and he wouldn't arrive. He was so flaky that he led me to think I wasn't worth committing to. Have you had that? Have you had a parent who promises stuff and then lets go? So it leaves the thought in you, the doubt in you that you're not worthy of somebody committing to you. Have you had a parent who showed no interest in you? Who, when you woke up in the morning, didn't smile at you, didn't care? It makes you think that you are not worthy of interest, of support, of care, of being wired with love because you didn't have it. If you were so used to being abused and life being chaotic, then the thought of committing to something that creates stability and security, it would be the sense of, I don't know how to cope with all of that. So I get you. I understand how scary it is when you've had a lack of interest, where you've had people being flaky. But I want to ask you if you want to break that cycle. If you want to say to yourself, I'm done with having flaky people around me, with not committing to me, with struggling with my own life and not having an interest in who I am and dismissing myself and negating myself and feeling that I come last and everybody else comes before me. If you were taught that you have to put everybody else and people please everybody else, then committing to you, everything would be brought up like, I'm selfish. It's wrong to think of me. What are other people going to do and what are other people going to think? It's really hard to sit with that. And that was the impact of emotional abuse, letting you know that you don't matter, that you're not important. And at what age are you going to turn around and say, I'm not going to live with that belief system anymore? My hope it is today. My hope it is today that you say, I'm going to break that pattern. I'm going to commit to me. I'm going to do what it takes to find a way to commit to me. This program of overcoming emotional abuse will help you not only break that cycle, but will get you a level of excitement and interest in who you are. I've seen such beautiful things. We had one lady who was working for an astonishing less than minimum wage in America. And every time she came to the program, I said, you are better than this. You are awesome. I see who you are. And she's begun to believe in herself and set up a business. There was somebody else who was in the UK who was working for minimum wage. And I said, you're too good for that job. And she's now started setting up a business. And when I asked her what her rate was, she said it was £35 an hour in her self-employment, going from £8 an hour. Because as you commit to you, your value goes up and you know who you are and you know what you're worth. And I want that for you too. Some of you are scared to commit because you go, I won't have the money. I see people, and I will be honest, it's not in 2 weeks. At least it's not in 2 weeks. It's not in 4 weeks that suddenly they start to earn more money, because first they have to unravel what happened. And 6 months down the line, they know their worth because they've changed so much in themselves. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a heal yourself fast scheme. You've been abused for 40 years. Overcoming emotional abuse isn't going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen when you are with us and you get rewired with empathy. I've seen it for every single person who participates. Every single one of them has become kinder, more gentle, more encouraging, and more protective of themselves. And I want that for you. So I want to just acknowledge a few of the fears. I know it's scary to pay for yourself. And that's why we've put in the risk of us helping you pay over the year. And when you pay over the year, so you could either pay upfront, which is fine, you can do that. And then to reward you, you get a group session for paying up front to reward the people who pay up front. Then there's pay over 3 months. But for those of you who are even more scared or more challenged by money, there's pay over the whole year. And in that, you get 3 programs over the year, plus 10 months in the Restore membership, where you grow this sense of family who are there for you, who love you through everything. I want that for you. I want you to feel a sense of love and commitment that you've never experienced in your life before. I want you to think what you will feel like in a year's time, in 8 weeks' time, if you've put yourself forward and you've started to treat yourself well and you've turned it around and you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. You took a chance on you, you committed to you, and you changed yourself. Just feel for a moment what that feels like. Instead of staying stuck, instead of letting that fear dominate you, that you did it. And now 8 weeks later, things have changed. Just feel how love would change your life, because that's what's on offer here, is a deep, wholesome, secure love for you that you probably have never had in your life before. And it might be scary, but we'll help you overcome that resistance to loving you, to where it's so hard that you think it's impossible. But I can guarantee you, I've worked with such hard people. And when they work as hard as I'm working on them, they transform. I know the difference that this makes. There is no doubt in my mind the difference it makes. And I want you to pause and think, how will it be in 8 weeks or a year if you go with the year option, when you are more loving, when you are safer in yourself, where you are enthusiastic about your life, where you are happy, laughing in your family, have friends that you love? Because that's what happens to everybody who joins the program. Because you cut off the toxic people who are no longer healthy for you, and you rejoice in finding jobs that you are where you're valuable, or creating your own business where you're not. That's what's happened to everyone. The biggest thing that people have said to me who waited to join is, I regret that I waited for so long. I didn't believe it was possible. And I wish I had joined when I first heard about it. Because for one lady, it was a year later. And she said it was the best decision in her life. She'd had a panic disorder for 5 years and an anxiety since she was 5. And this is the happiest she's been in her life after 8 weeks. She showed up at every call that she could. She did the work and she transformed. And I know that you can do that too. So I want to have a real and honest chat with you. I don't want to pussyfoot and just smile at you and say, it's okay, stay the same, it's all good. I want to be real with you, like I would be with myself when I'm in fear, and say, come on, man. I don't want you going back to the same habits where you're living in fear, where you're stuck. I don't want you to go back to the same toxic relationships where you're hiding and not being valued. I don't want you to keep treating yourself with meanness and toxicity and emotional abuse to yourself, where you are dismissing yourself and where you're living with self-doubt that you can't ever achieve anything. You are worth believing in you. And if I'm honest, it's a bit like which I felt like a bit of a fuck you to my family, of going, no, you were wrong about me. I can create an amazing life, and I'm not going to live with the belief that you instilled in me, that I am selfish when I put myself forward, that I am nothing, that I shouldn't be successful because other people will be jealous. No, I can audaciously live an amazing life, and I don't need to hold back. I can commit to myself. I want today to be a new chapter for you, where you wake up and go, right, I'm committing to me, and I'm going to commit to do the work, and I'm going to commit to show up. We've got these implementation sessions every week, where whether you're in Australia, whether you're in America, there is a time slot for you where we do these sessions that you take this what we're learning every week and you put it into your life, and then come back and share, this is where I'm struggling, coach me on this. So that this impacts your life. It's not just something intellectual that we're going to share with you theory. We have every single day 3 to 20-minute videos for you to watch of what is right for you at the time, so that you can heal you. Everybody's at different stages. So we have the whole range of the healing library there ready for you, waiting for you to commit to you, so that you can take a chance on you and love you. You are so worth it. And I don't want you hiding out any more days. I want you loving you. I want you saying yes to you. And kind of fuck you to the impact of abuse. That you're not going to leave me feeling like I don't matter, like I'm unlovable, that I'm not worth it. You are worth it. And I don't want you to let the impact of abuse to win any longer in your life. I want you to stand up for you and be a champion for you and say to yourself, this matters to me. I'm not going to live with that anymore. I'm not going to live with a sense that I'm going to stay down, that I'm going to stay feeling useless or lazy or angry or moody all the time because those triggers are erupting inside of me. I'm going to conquer this and I'm going to live a life that is good, that is happy, where I'm caring for me, where I'm around people who love me. Those are the shifts that I've seen in other people. And I know I will see it in you if you give yourself a chance. I know it because I've seen it. Everyone who does the work gets the results. I see people flourishing and everybody goes at their own space. There is no pressure. I show up for you every day. That's so weird. I'm not going to say anybody's name because it's public, but S, I was just thinking of you. And I was hoping you would show up because I'm going to speak to you in a second. I'm just going to read here. There's so much loss and fear and sadness. I'm scared I'm not capable or wondering if I can change with so much going on while grieving for a friend and her husband year after year, scared of trusting the commitment of self and others. Is this real? Will I trust again? Then rejected? Do I deserve your time? Okay, I'm going to talk to that. Do I deserve your time? There are so many people who have come to this course and said, I don't know if I deserve it. And I want to speak to that because you are a beautiful human being and every single one of you deserve to be loved. But this is not about, do you deserve my time? I'm going to show up for everybody the same. The question is, are you going to give you the time to heal? Because this is a program about you becoming your own best friend and you overcoming your abuse. I'm going to show up regardless. I'm going to show up for everybody. There's a rule of no messages, so it's not a private relationship between me and you. This is a personal relationship between you and yourself and you committing to yourself. And I will show up. You can ask the people on here who've been in the program before. I show up so fully that I'm there for you. Somebody the other day said, how do you show up for us this much? Because I want you to transform. I want you to be loved and I want you to see the changes in yourself. And if you're blocked and somebody else hasn't given direction, I will, because I don't want you staying lost and blocked. I want you being met and loved. And I know the person who's written that has signed up, and I know you're going to shift. That insecurity, there are people who are watching this right now who had that insecurity and they have changed. They have found a sense of love for themselves and knowing that they're valuable. And to the person who is here, who I know you're here, who was saying, I'm scared to commit to studying, because I don't have the support of other people. I want to just share with you that when my kids were 1 and 4, I shared at the start of the call, and I don't think you were here. I kept hearing in my mind, masters, masters. And everybody said, you're mad. You've got no money. You've got 2 small children. You're a single mum. And I said, well, there's night times. And I worked around the clock. I would put my kids to bed at 7 and I would work until 3 in the morning every night. Both my kids have special needs and I was a single mom. And then I would always Like I've said to you all the time, for me, my priority is education and changing myself. And I would go into debt for my rent, but as long as I was growing, that was my priority. And I literally had to borrow money to pay my rent because I'd used my rent money to pay for my master's because that was the priority. And, when we started the master's, I can't remember if there were 26 or 29 of us who started at the start of 3 years. And at the end, there were 4 of us who finished out of all of those people. Everybody else dropped out or they took it longer. They didn't finish in the 3 years that we had. I worked my ass off. I used to just sit and cry. It was so hard, but I did it. I committed to me. I said, this matters to me because it will change who I am. And of course, there were moments I wanted to quit. And there will be moments in the program that you think, this is hard and I want to quit. And we will champion you. And we will say to you, don't quit on you. Don't quit on you, ever. Believe in your dreams and work to your dreams because you are somebody special. You are somebody who has got purpose. Your life, your childhood carved you into who you are for a reason. And I don't want you playing small and hiding out. I want you to overcome whatever happened to you so that you live a life without the impact of it. You live a happy, audacious life, proud of you. I don't want you hiding anymore. And I don't like speaking to people like this of going, come on, don't let your commitment or your fears dominate. Always, the Dalai Lama said, when you come to a decision and you have a short-term result or a long-term result, and you've got a choice between this, he said, always make the choice to go what will heal in the long term or help in the long term. And so right now, some of you are worried. I'm furloughed. Do I actually have the money? I want to study this. I want to grow in this way, but I've got all of this. What is the long-term decision? Because when you commit to something greater than yourself, forces within the universe come to help and support you because you have said yes to you. I have seen it so often in my life. And the risks that I've had to take, for me, I had to overcome my relationship to money of going, money is a tool for me to fulfill my purpose. And I need to use it as a willing supporter for my vision rather than be scared of it. So, part of me wants to share how much I have spent on Facebook ads, and I think that it would scare so many of you. Why? Because I'm committed to healing you and to working with you. I've spent thousands. I don't have thousands. I don't have that money. Majority of people paid £1 to be in the course, which is what it's designed for, that anybody in the world can do it without restriction. That's my mission. And why? Because I wanted to reach more people. And I have. And it's been just incredible and amazing. But I see my commitment to you. And I've made so many commitments to be able to bring this work to you. I took out an £18,000 loan, then a £16,000 loan, then another was £5,500 loan that I took out for Facebook ads. And I spent more than that. And it was scary. And my friends were going, you're so courageous. And I said, it's because there might be one person that ad reaches that this could change their life. And it's worth it. Because if I change that one person's life, whose lives are they going to change? Because what I see in this is incredible. The other day, one of the people in my program came to me and said, my husband wants you to know that not only have you changed my life, but you've changed his life because I tell him what I'm learning. But it's also changed the lives of the people who work for him because he treats them differently. and it's changed their wives because he's teaching the people who work with him about empathy, and the husbands are going home to their families. And so for me, I see that in changing one person's life, it ripples into a whole family and it changes generations. And I want you to commit to you of overcoming emotional abuse, because the generations after you will thank you. And if you can't yet commit to you for you, then commit for your family and your friends, that they don't need to carry your emotional baggage anymore, because that's not fair on them. They don't deserve it. They don't want it. They want a healthy, happy, functioning friend who they can love, who they can adore, who they can celebrate and enjoy life with. And there are many times that I could not commit to something for me, but I could for my kids. Like I couldn't commit to leaving my relationship with my mother because I felt that my kids should see her. And there were many times before I had kids that I tried to end the relationship because I knew it was toxic, but I couldn't. I always went back. But I did it for my kids because I saw how it was impacting their relationships to be around emotional abuse. And in ending that, it changed my kids' lives because they said, I'm no longer willing to play with mean people. I want to be around the kind people. So I know when I am too scared to commit to myself, I have to have a bigger vision and really take stock of my life and go, there are so many people who are having to carry me. At that point, it was my kids. I'm very ashamed to say my kids were having to hold me together. And I had to commit to myself to say, I'm going to change for them so they don't have to do that anymore. And what they got was their mother back. They got a fun, loving, committed, amazing mother because I overcame that emotional abuse in me. And I broke the cycle so that they don't have to live with it. If you can't do it for yourself, then please do it for them. Oh, hi, Jess. So nice to see you, my friend. They said, I want to be around kind people. I love this. Yeah. The next message said, you changed my life and decided to stop emotional abuse with me so my son's life is better and has the skills to regulate himself. That is just thrilling. That is the whole purpose of me doing this. And for those of you who struggle with it or want support as you do it, come and join us. Let me put that's silly of me, I don't even have the link. So there's the link. For those of you who want to join the program now, come and join us. Commit to you. Say to those folk who let you live with the impression that you don't deserve love, that you don't deserve goodness, that you don't deserve support and care in your life. Let them know by your actions that you're no longer tolerating that emotional abuse in your head, and you are determined and committed to changing it in yourself. So you become somebody that you like, that you love, where you're living an audacious life on your terms, not on anybody else's. I am so committed to every single one of you who are in the program, who work like I work for you. And how you show up for you, I will show up for you. I will be there every week. So if you're thinking, how is it going to work? I will be there. I will show up. I will be responding to you and letting you know every day in every way that you are worth being loved. And any time that you are struggling, there are videos there waiting for you right now that you can leap in and watch. Not long videos like my 2-hour, 3-hour videos. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to rewire you to become who you know you deserve to be. So if you're scared of that commitment, If you're scared of standing up for yourself and go, I matter, then do it for your kids, for your friends, and know that the gift that you're giving them is a you who is loving to yourself. So they don't have to do that love for you. And your life will be easier, happier, and you will feel so much more in love with yourself. If there are any questions, you can put them in the comments and I will respond to them. But I would love to have you in the program. And if you are, if you want a quick chat with me and you want to do a right fit call and see if it's right for you, then message me and say, I want to test if this is right for me. Can you let me know, please, when we can chat? Send me a message on Facebook and I will call you back and we can have a 5-minute chat to see if it's right for you. No pressure. I want you to honor you. All right. Any questions before I go? Because it's 7 o'clock. I am doing a Zoom call, which you are welcome to attend. And it is going to be restoring.love/Z1 for Zoom 1. And it's in 1 hour's time. And it's going to be on growing your belief in you. So if you want to come to that and ask questions where you're actually able to quickly speak to me, you're welcome to do that. And for those of you who know, right, I'm ready to commit to me, click restoring.love and we will be there on the other side to welcome you. The group opens on Monday for the 8-week program, and I am so excited to welcome the people who have joined. We're going to have an incredible 8 weeks together. And at the end of those 8 weeks, you're going to look back at yourself and say, thank you. Thank you for doing this. I want you to imagine for a second what your life will be like when you feel more love for yourself. Just you loving yourself. How would that impact your work, your relationship, your friendships with the rest of your family? It's life-changing. And I have seen the results in other people, and I know that you'll get them too. Come and join us. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Love to you. Oh, will it be recorded? Will the Zoom call be recorded? No. The Zoom call won't be recorded. Maybe the little bit where I speak on a little section on belief, because if other people are on the call, then we break their privacy if it's recorded. So it will be a live call. But we'll see. I might be able to just record the little bit on belief. All right. Sending you love and hope we can see you there. Okay. Bye.